Recording. All right. So to be honest, that's the most important thing, managing time. So if you can manage time the right way, you would be good no matter what. Say so. Before moving on, can you guys kindly confirm if you can see my screen as well? Is my audio clearly audible? Yes or no in the chat box quickly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's great to know. All right, so Bismillah kar lete hain. So in your last class, we ended the discussion with what's binary, what's denary, how you convert a denary number into binary number. So like a 56 being converted into zeros and ones. We saw how we have a register, and within that register, we have different sort of boxes, and those boxes are basically slots where a specific bit could be stored. And then each of that box has a specific relevant value, which when I want to convert a specific denary number into binary, I'm going to be putting one under all those values, which when I later on add them should give me the exact identical denary value which I had at the very first place. So today we're going to be studying and continuing our concepts from this exact point. So we did study denary to binary, which means that when you guys went yesterday and you told your ghar wale and parents that guys, listen up, you give me a mark of specific number and I can tell you what the computer might be taking it in, right? So like to how computer is going to be processing that specific value. So now what if they ask you, bro, let me give you a computer value, you guys should go and convert it into something which we normal people can understand, say, so like binary to denary. So we will be starting off our discussion today from the conversion between your binary to denary. But before moving on, I hello, assalamu alaikum, Saifullah, kaise ho yaar? So before moving on, I wanted to discuss one thing, but चलो वो बाद में कर लेते हैं. मैं यहाँ पे लिख लेता हूँ कहीं पे that we need to discuss this. इसको मैं कहीं बल्कि we're going to discuss this at the end of the class. See? So we are going to be starting a discussion directly from the main point. So like conversion from binary to denary. Now we are well aware that binary basically means zeros and ones. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing super well. And denary basically means the conventional number system which we usually have. So if I have a number system like this, 0 1 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 2 3 4 5 0 3 6 7 8. Okay, so we have a specific figure up here, right? And this is basically a binary value. See, so I will be saying this is a binary base 2. So binary. But now, if I tell you that, let's say, Saifullah, you scored this many marks in your test. Ab Saifullah might be like, sir, I do not understand what are you trying to say. Like, what are these random zeros and ones? And I'm like, bro, you need to convert them. Walaikum assalam, Moez, how are you doing? So now when Saifullah goes and learns how to convert it, he's then going to understand that, okay, I scored this much marks. But before that, he comes up to, let's say, Ramin and asks Ramin, can you please teach me how do we convert from a binary to a denary figure? Alhamdulillah, super well. That's great to know, Moez. So, how are we going to be converting a binary value into a denary value? So the concept is really easy. It's literally very, very easy. Koi mushkil cheez hai nahi. You see, yesterday what we did was that we had a specific register like this, say, and we saw that each of the box has a relevant value assigned to it, right? We did study this. But आज हम ये करेंगे कि rather than having यहाँ पे paste होगा, okay, वहाँ नहीं paste करना. ये इधर से let me just copy it. I hope I can copy it. How do you copy it? Copy it and यहाँ पे paste करना. Yep, perfect. So look up here. Let's say we have this specific binary number which we were discussing above. So let me erase all this, and you're given a specific binary number like 011001110. Now how will I be converting it? So we're just going to be applying reverse engineering. Say, so हम reverse mechanism apply करेंगे. What we did earlier was that we filled in this specific slot with ones so that when we add them up, it should give me the exact same denary which I had at the first place. But now we don't have a denary. We're just going to be writing the same thingy up here. कैसे करूँगा? Remember, I said that you got to start from the most right-hand side and then going to move towards left. So this 0 comes up here, followed by 1, then 0, then 0, then 1, then 1, and then 0. And now to convert this binary into denary, we just need to see the values where we have a 1 beneath it. So we have a 1 up here, so ek ye ho gayi, then this, then no one, no one, then a one up here, then a one up here. Now we're going to be adding all these relevant values. So this comes up to be as 64 plus 32 plus 4 plus 2. So अब इसको हम ऐड कर देंगे, क्या बनेगा? So you should always do it in a way like 64 plus 32 is what? Sorry, 32 plus 2 is what? 34. 34 plus 4 is 38. Okay. 38 plus 64. So if I add 4 into this, this is going to become 42. And then 42 plus 60 is 102. Right? 102, right? Let me confirm. Yep, perfect. Yes. So you get the answer as 102. And this is now in Denary base form. So you just see that what we previously did in yesterday class was that we had basically 102 up here with us at the first place, and we just placed one under all those slots, which when we added them later on, we were getting 102. But when we need to convert from a binary to a denary form, we just have a register pre-made up. We just need to assign the values of each of those bits. So like the bit number 1 has a value of 1, bit number 2 has a value of 2, bit number 3 has a value of 4, and so on. And then we're going to be adding the values after, above which or beneath which we have a 1, right? So let's do another example. So let's say I give you guys this one example question. We have a binary value of 11000101. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and this is basically base 2. So this is base 2. I need to convert this into base 10. What's base 10? Base 10 is basically denary. So in your exam, even if they write the word denary, फिर तो समझ आ ही रही है कि convention number system. But even if they mention it as like base 2 number system, if they explicitly say that you need to give the answer in base 2 numbers, sorry, base 10 number system, so you all should be well aware that base 10 number system basically means that we are talking about denary number system. From what? From a base 2 number system, which is binary. So oh, Moise, just a second. You gotta solve it, फिर पता लगेगा. But that's great to know if you're doing it the right way and that quickly, mashallah. So अब इसको हम करेंगे क्या? अब we don't have time, let's say, to make those boxes and all. करना चाहते तो well and good. But because we know that we are going to be dealing with these boxes, what I will be doing is I'm going to be writing these values like a bit open, 1 0 0 0 1 0 1. And then because I know that the first position has the value of 1, फिर multiply by 2, 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, 64, 128. So you just see it's getting multiplied, the same thing which we studied yesterday. And then I'm going to be looking at where do we have 1. So we have a 1 up here, okay, 1 up here, then we have a 1 up here, and then a 1 up here. So now we need to add the values of what? We need to add the values of all those places where we have a 1. So this is going to get me a 128 plus a 64 plus a 4 plus a 1. Now this is really important. You should be focusing upon Walaikum Assalam Zulkarnain. How are you doing, buddy? So now this is really important that you guys focus upon how to do these mental math calculations, because you do not have your calculator allowed. Now I might say that in your school exams the teachers or the invigilators might not be that strict and they may be like, okay bache use kar lo, koi masle ki baat nahi hai. But in your CIs there is a possibility, they clearly say that no calculators are allowed. And so in a scenario like that, फिर आपके साथ बहुत मसले हो सकते हैं when you are not good with these what do we call it, mental math calculation. Okay, that's great to know, Moise. Back then when I was doing it, मुझे तो teachers ने कभी नहीं रोका. And to be very honest, when I went for my CI exams, they did not even ask me at that place to not use a calculator, even though I did not use it because मैंने वैसे भी नहीं करना था, and I like did my preparations in a way where I wasn't required to even make use of the calculator. So I did not even take it, which I would recommend to all of you too, because honesty is the best of policy. No, calculators are not allowed in your Cambridge, IGCSE or O-levels computer science exam. सही है? So now we need to just add them up. अब ये है कि इसमें से काफी calculations ऐसी होती है जो हमें याद हो जाती है. So like 128 plus 64 is basically 192. So it's like 8 plus 4, 2. Then you get a carry up here, 6 plus 2 plus 1. So this becomes 6 plus 3, which is 9 and 1. So we get 192. And then now I need to add a 4 into it and a 1 into it. So this is 5. So 192 plus 5 is basically 197, which is the exact answer Moise told us. So kudos to Moise. Yeah, you got the right answer, bro. So really great to know. So now this specific binary, 11000101, has a denary value of 197. So this is denary. And now this is the exact steps you're going to be following. So now just to give you guys a quick summary, if I have a denary with me, originally, if I have a denary number, denary number, what I will be doing is that I will be making slots. So I will be like, okay, अब यहाँ पे देखो मैंने boxes नहीं बनाए, but because that's a pretty much that's going to lead to a lot of what do we call it, mess, right? So if I want to convert from denary to binary, so you might be wondering, sir, अब इस scenario में we are required to make those boxes, right? No, it's not necessary. Why? Because what I will be doing is I'm just going to be writing these values. अब याद हो जानी है मुझे. So I'll be like, okay, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and 128. Done. Perfecto. And now, if I, let's say, have to convert a specific number, let's say 67. Say, if I have to do 67, or maybe not 67 might be a smaller number, we can do something like 113. Okay, let's say we want to do 113. How am I going to be doing this? I will be just putting one under all those slots, which can get me 113. So it's going to be, will I be putting one up here? No. Why? Because 128 is definitely greater than 113. So why would it be required? Say, CS में maths hai? No, there is not no maths, to be honest. It's just simple addition and subtraction, just like Rayan stated. So there won't be a one up here. So this is going to be 0. This will be a 0. Why? Because 128 is greater than 113, so not possible at all. 64, yes. So 1. 64 के अंदर अब मैं क्या ऐड करूंगा, which can get me 113. So I would be keeping this as 1. Why? Because 64 plus 32 is basically 96. Okay, good. So 113 minus 96 is what? This is going to become a 0, 1. So this will be 7. And again 0, and this is going to become 10, so 17. So I need to basically put one under all those values, which can get me 17. So 16, yep, 0, 0, 0, and then 16 plus this one basically gets me 17. So now I have the binary for 113 as what? 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1. And this is what your binary is for 113. Now, if I have a specific binary given, let's say I have a binary value, which might be like, let's make up something like 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it's 9 bits, so let's remove this one. And now I have to convert this into, what do we call it, denary. What I will be doing is I will firstly write all the values of the slots. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 120. And how do I know I need to stop at 128? Because I'm going to count this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So because it's an 8 bits binary value, 8-bit binary value, I'm just going to be writing it for 8 value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if it was a 9-bit, then I would have also included a 256 and it could have continued. But usually in your exam, it's only going to stay till what do you call it, 8 bits. Say the question is 130. Yes, it was 113. Yes. So up is तरह है. Okay, Ramin gave us an answer. Was it correct? 0, 111, 000. Yep, perfect, Ramin. बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है. Okay, so now we need to convert this. So Moise ने पहले से जवाब दे दिया. Let's see if he's correct or not. So Moise is saying it's 93. Let's see. Let's write 93 up here. Moise. Okay, so Moise is saying it's 93. Okay, so now let's do it. So we're just going to be putting these binary values into these slots, starting from the most right hand side. So 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. So now I need to add all those values where we have a 1 beneath it. So this, and this. So let's do it. It's going to be a 64 plus a 16 plus an 8 plus a 4 and plus a 1. Let's add them. So 64 plus, let's simplify it. 16 plus 4 is what? 20. And then 8 plus 1 is what? 9. Doing it this way will make it really easy. Why? Because 64 plus 20 is now 84. And now 84 plus 9 is something I do know. It's going to be 84 plus 9 is going to be 93. So 93, this 93 is 100% same as the one which Moise said. So Moise, your answer is correct. Great. Perfect, Rayan. Because Rayan also told us that it's 93. Really good too. So this just teaches us, mashallah, that's great, Saifullah. So this teaches us how we need to basically convert between a second, let me just make my phone silent. So this basically teaches us how to convert between your binary to denary and denary to binary. But now before moving on, let's do an official past paper question to see यार exam में किस तरह आएगा. So in your exam, आपके पास ये मैंने एक screenshot ली थी. So in your exam, you will be given a question like this. Okay, so this is part of like one of those questions which has a C part stating that there is a denary number 19 and 230, which have to be converted to binary numbers. Now they clearly mentioned up here that it is a denary number and it is being converted into binary number. And so to be stored in the RAM, that's just like scenario. So now it's giving the question is convert the two denary numbers to binary numbers. 2 marks, one of them for each of the correct answer. Now how am I going to be doing it? So we have a working space up here. Is working space ke andar we will be first of all specifying the value. So मैं क्या करूँगा, because I should give the answer in like 8 bits, तो मैं यहाँ पे लिख देता हूँ 1 2 4 8 16 32 64 128, and now I just need to put ones beneath them to show that this is of 19. So like for 19 it's going to be this can't be on, this can't be on, this can't be on. Why? Because all of these values are greater than 19, right? 16, yes, 16 plus what is 19? 3. So this means that I can turn this on 2 and then 1. 2 plus 1 is 3 and 3 plus 16 is 19. So the other are going to become 0. So the answer to the first one is going to be 0 0 0 1 0 0 1 1. 0 0 1 0 0 1. Yes, perfect, Moise. बिल्कुल सही. And for the second one, now I would be like, okay, 230 का भी इधर ही कर लेते हैं. Should I turn this on? Yes, perfect, because it's smaller than 230. So 128 का ये हो गया. Then 128 plus 64 is what? Let's do the calculation up here. 128 plus 64, that's going to get me a 2, and this is going to get a carry. So we have a 192. And now I need 230, so I will be subtracting this from 230. So it's going to be like 2, and this is going to be 1, so 8, and then again 1 and 12. So this is going to become 3, and 1 plus 1 is going to be 0. So we have 38. Now to do 38, I will be like, okay, 1 up here. 16, no. We need to do 6, right? Because 32 plus 6 is 38. So again, 8, no. 4, yep, and 2 also, yes. So do know that if you mess up, like let's say you turn on 8 to be as 1, तो उस सूरत हाल में आपका आंसर नहीं बनेगा, because there are no 2 possibilities to getting the right answer. There will be only one correct possible way to write the answer. So अब हमारे पास यहाँ पे आंसर क्या आ गया? It's basically 1 1 1 0 0 1 1 0. Which is 111 00 110. Yep, perfect, Moise. So you're gonna learn 192 for what? We basically at this point are okay. Oh, yeah, I got it. So you're basically saying that 192 will be the addition of 128 and 64. Perfect. Yeah. So in your exams, you're just going to be getting questions like these. Straightforward questions, nothing complicated. You would be given a denary number, and then might be asked to convert it into binary number. And this is just like one of the scenario. There is a possibility they give you the other way around, asking you that you have a binary number converted into a denary number. So yeah, so bas is tarah ke questions are there. These are the easiest questions. You just need to follow the method which I mentioned earlier on. While reading book or maybe in your school, they might teach you some other method, but I personally would recommend to go only with this, because why are you guys forcing yourself into difficult and useless methods where the chances of making an error are way larger? And the thing is, in your exam, they will never, at least I have never seen a single question in which they tell you that, bro, you need to make use of the LCM method. Perhaps the method which I just taught you guys, this is also there in the book. So it's up to the convenience of the student or the candidate, whichever suits them more. But for me, it was this method, and I would say that definitely for you all, it has to be this one too. Exactly, Moise. For the LCM method, you need a lot of space too, and if you mess it up somewhere, you're gone. So yeah, so maybe you mess it at the first place, and then फिर आप नीचे तक जाओगे तो काफी खराब होता जाएगा. So my recommendation would be that you should go with this. So yeah, it's easier, it takes less space too, and it's more easy to catch an error here if you even make one. Say, now done with this, before moving on, I want all of you to quickly in the chat box just write the word clear, so that I understand that you guys understood what binary is, what denary is, how you convert from denary to binary, and how you went from binary to denary. Perfect. इनाया आपने नहीं बताया, and Saifullah, is this clear? बाकी सबने तो बता दिया. Inaya and Saifullah? If you guys have any questions, see, I would be coming to this point too, inshallah, at the end of today's class. Okay, how are you guys basically going to excel if you plan on joining my course? And like, what do I expect from you guys if you are aiming to get that distinction? So uske liye, it's really important that you all ask questions. That's great to know, perfect. But if you guys ever have any question, just spam them. Say, send them in the chat box. Because questions, jab tak aapke clear nahi honge, it won't be doing anything. MashaAllah, Saifullah, that's great to know. Now we are done with this part. We are done with Denary. We are done with binary. Now remember at the start I talked about number systems. Remember? So we saw that we have one number system as binary. Then I told you that we have one other number system known as the conventional number system, which we call as Denary. But at that point I was mentioning one third number system, which I did not talk about previously. So we have one third number system, or our last number system, third number system. And that third number system is basically known as hexadecimal number system. Hexadecimal. Now, what is hexadecimal? Now, the way we had a binary as base 2 number system, a denary as base 10 number system, we have the hexadecimal, which is basically a base 16 number system. So it's base 16 number system, which if you guys remember from the first class, I meant that if we are talking about a base system which has base 16, this basically means it has 16 different possible values, 16 possible values. But now you might be wondering, sir, how do we have 16 possible values when the digits goes from like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, and then the exact same digits are again being repeated? So it's like 16 aapke wo again, then after that the same digits are repeated. Like if I have to write 11, then it's 1, 1. So we already had 1. That's like a repetition. So in your hexadecimal number system, it's basically, it was introduced for the purpose of catering to values between 0 till 15. So like if I have to cater from values from 0 to 15, my denary can max go till 9. My binary can only stay between 0 and 1. How can I represent 14? So for that, computer scientists were like, come on, bro, let's introduce a new number system and let's call it hexadecimal. Now, the biggest problem that exists at this point is that because we do not have any specific number which can, like, I don't have a specific symbol like this, which might be used for 11. So what the computer scientists did was that they basically created hexadecimal from a combination of your denary number system and some extra characters, some characters, which basically meant that if I have to write some digit 7 or 8, it has to stay the same, the way it was in denary. But if I have to represent 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, or 15, I basically would be requiring some characters. And what were the easiest characters that basically came into the exam, into the scientist's mind? It was basically A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, because we know that a specific box in the memory can only store one digit, so it's like one box having one digit, either it could be 2, 3, 4, and we know that it's not possible to have a 12 up here. What scientists did was that they created a specific character like B and told it that B is going to store the value of C. Now, B is a single digit, right? So we can directly write B up here. And this is what we call as a hexadecimal number system. Now, it has 16 different possible values. How? Because exactly the way Zulkarnain stated, we have a 0 to 9. So we have a 0 to 9. And then we have basically A to F. So if I go and count them, these are basically 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then we have like 10 up here. And then A, B, C, D, E, F. A, B, C, D, E, F. 0 to 9 and then ABCD. Yeah, bilkul 16 ban gaya na. So 10 yoga and then you have 6 up here. So when you add them, you're going to see that we have 16 different possible values. And these letters A, B, C, D, E, F basically are there to demonstrate the value of 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Samajh gaye? So now in your exam, if a question comes up and they say that state the number system which has the base 16, or say that which number system can have 16 different possible values, then remember the answer to that is only hexadecimal. In your CI exams, you are required to stay pretty much very focused and very much, you can say that to the point, precise. Yeah? So if a question asks you to just name it, do not explain the whole thing, you say. And this would be something, inshallah, once you guys start off with the official course and I give you guys the first practice question set, which you guys will be submitting inshallah over the weekend or whenever. So usko jab hum mark karke denge, when our TAs and me are going to provide you guys with the feedback, you will be noting that we would be addressing those areas where you are trying to go vague, or maybe you are trying to write use this point which the examiner doesn't require. So where explanation is required and you haven't, we are going to be telling you why why do you have to explain it? Because always remember, the examiner question does have a specific hint for you that you need to make use of this thing because of this point. सही है? But जहाँ पे नहीं होते, so you are not required to explain it for no reason. समझ गए? So now we have the hexadecimal base number system as like, yes, Zulkarnain, do you have a question? You can send it in the chat box. We're going to cover the syllabus along with the past papers. Okay, good question. So the course content, given that we have started from the 1st of December, this course is going to go from 1st December, ideally, till 15 March, inshallah. So by 15 March, we would be done with all the content, inshallah, hopefully, if everything goes planned. Say, plus, we would be done with topicals. By topicals, I mean basically that in once we are done with one class, so not one class, I mean like one chapter. फिर उसके बाद ये होगा, one day I would be doing a whole class where I would be conducting topical questions. So I would be solving them, discussing them alongside you, explaining the concept. If there is something which was unrevised or something left previously, we're going to cover that stuff alongside those questions. And then after that, on your Google Classroom portal, you will be getting access to the previous topical sessions which we had earlier on. So yeah. So in those previous topical sessions, we have done like ample amount of questions. So like for chapter number 1, if alongside this topical class, we will be having like 3-4 other too. So like 3 or भी है. So you guys have like almost 10 to 15 questions जो कि मैं solve कराऊंगा. Once done with that, over the weekend, I would be giving you guys a set of questions from that specific topic, and you would be doing those questions जिसका फिर मैं बाद में आपको feedback provide करूंगा. So by 15 March, we would be done with the content and such topical practice for all the course content, hopefully if everything goes planned, inshallah. And then like the course is going to end at 50 on 1st of April. So like from 15 March till 1st of April, or maybe from 15 March onwards, we would be basically starting off our past paper session. So in that, we would be starting past papers. We're going to be doing papers together and all that stuff. And once we complete it from the 1st of April, like 1st April se lekar till your CIs, we would be officially conducting our actual past paper session. So this past paper session is going to be only there for the registered kiddos. So they would be getting this complimentary access, hopefully. Agar hum log ne jaldi start nahi kiya and we were planning on starting it from the 1st of April, then the remaining 15 days would be used for revision purposes, for maybe doing topical questions, for doing past paper questions. So those 15 days are there just for you guys if you guys want help with anything. And then from the 1st of April to your CIs, we would be starting off our past paper session, which would be again something optional to you all if you all want to join in. Otherwise, if somebody new wants to join in, we're going to be doing past papers together to ensure that we all are fully prepared for those exams. See? So in December, based on the pace we have, we would be inshallah done with hopefully first 2 topics. So like chapter 1 is not that long and chapter 2 is also not that big. So like you can expect one topic to take like 2 weeks. So by the end of by the end of December, we would be inshallah done with the first 2 topics. So okay, Rayan, how could you go through how many days each chapter? Acha, so Rayan, the thing is, all these chapters vary in length. So you have some topics which are very small. So like your chapter number 6, it is literally the smallest topic out there. And it took me like 3 days to teach the whole concept in chapter 6. And then we had time for like, if you want to do topicals or something like that. So it took me just 3 days to teach the whole chapter 6. But then at the same time, we had chapter number 3, because in our October-November session, there were a lot of kids who were new to computer science. So we had to take the course pretty slow. So it depends upon how we need to carry out the pace. So because of that, chapter number 3 took like around 15 to 20 days. So that was a lot. So we spent like 3 weeks on chapter 3 covering everything. And like, even if you go and check out our YouTube channel, there are like 18 parts of the chapter 3 video series. So I cannot explicitly say कि हर topic पे कितना लगेगा, but do keep in mind that it could take anywhere from 1 week to 2 weeks, ideally. It should not be taking more than 2 weeks for any maximum topic, but inshallah by March you guys would be very well prepared. And I get your point that you're basically stating it in a way, would you be prepared for your Feb mocks or not? So inshallah your P1 would be covered and we would have started paper number 2 till your mocks. So you would be inshallah good to go to save that grade of yours. Don't worry. Otherwise you can reach out, we could sort out that somehow. So जुल्कनैन पेपर वन के टिप्स के लिए यू कैन रीच आउट लेटर ऑन, तो कुछ कर लेंगे, कोई हिसाब कर लेंगे से. So now back to where we were. We had a bit of a discussion here and there, say, but now we have, before moving on, guys, is this clear, this number system wali baat ki? Now what is hexadecimal, what is P2 would take around 1 month से लेकर 1.5 months. So it would be taking time because it requires practice. Now the content is not that long, it's pretty much very easy, but the more practice you do, the more comfortable you get with those questions. So if I have to make sure that you guys just cover up the course, that can literally be done in like 3 weeks. But I want that you guys spend like even after completing the course like 2 to 3 further weeks with me, so that we do ample amount of past paper questions, ample amount of practice, so that you guys, even if a question comes out from the AS syllabus, let's say a super difficult question comes up at your level, you guys are comfortable with dealing that, because that is what's going to lead you all to those distinctions. Yeah, so you don't need to worry, everything would be done in the right way. So now everybody in the chat box, quickly, is the logic behind hexadecimal clear as to what hexadecimal is? What do we mean by A to F? What do we mean by it having this combination of denary and at the same time some characters A to F? What do we call, why do we call it like a 16 base 16 and having 16 possible values? What are those 16 possible values? 0 to 9 and A to F. Say, so perfect, that's good to know. So now we're going to be basically moving on, and at this point we would be now currently starting conversion. Say, so the way we studied binary to denary, binary denary, we now have the hexadecimal in our discussion too. So hexadecimal. What are we going to be doing is that we did study this part. So can I make an arrow somehow? Let's see. I hope I can. Okay, we cannot. So we studied this part, binary to denary, and we also studied how we can go the other way around. See, now right now we're going to be studying that if I have a specific binary value, how can I convert that into hexadecimal? And if I have a specific hexadecimal value, how can I convert that into binary? So now, if I have a specific register, yesterday we studied the concept of registers. We have as 100100111, right? So we have a specific binary value. This is a binary value, binary. And this binary value is basically stored in a specific register, right? So it has like 8 boxes around it, and each of those boxes are basically storing a specific value. So let's make a box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So like we have 8 slots. Now this one whole register is basically known as a 8-bit register. समझ गए? 8-bit register. And remember, 8 bits, basically each of these bits, when I count all of these 8 bits, it's basically going to make 1 byte. So you might have seen this word, if you download something from your App Store or Play Store, you would have seen that the game is of like 512 MB. The B basically in that stands for byte. So what is byte? That's a memory unit, and we would be studying this in chapter number 1.3, the same chapter number 1. We would be exploring what do we mean by these memory terms. But when we have these 8 bits of binary, so like 8 specific digits of binary like this, when we combine them, this basically make 1 byte. So 8 bits basically make 1 byte. This is one important convention you guys should be aware of, that 8 bits basically make 1 byte. And just like that, there is one other important convention, that if I, let's say that I don't have 8 bits, but I have 4 bits. So what do we call a 4 bits memory slot? We basically give it the name of a nibble. So it's known as nibble. A nibble is a memory slot, or you can say exactly, Ramin, perfect. So a nibble is basically that slot, or maybe a memory location, or not a memory location, maybe a specific shelf in your memory, which can maximum store 4 bits. So if I have 1010, and they tell me that, bro, I am storing this somewhere, where can I store them? So you're going to say that this can be stored in a nibble, because nibble can maximum store 4 bits. And if I have like 8 bits, what am I going to call that? It's basically 1 byte. And just like that, when we increase bytes, it's going to form kilobytes, megabytes, and wo aage hum padhenge, so no need to worry, that would be discussed in chapter number 1.3. But now, why am I talking about nibbles up here in the hexadecimal topic? So for instance, this is really important, because if I have a specific binary value, there is a very clear-cut shortcut to converting from binary to hexadecimal. Did I write it somewhere? No, right? So let's write it. So if I have to convert from binary to hexadecimal, the hexadecimal. So just understand that hexad basically means hexadecimal. Say, so if I have a value like 01011100, how will I be converting this into hexadecimal? So there's a set of steps which you all need to follow. Firstly, divide the binary, divide the binary into group of fours, group of fours, or we can also call it as a nibble or nibble. क्या मतलब इसको? This basically means that I have to basically make two groups, or maybe no matter how many binary we have, we just need to convert them into a group of fours, or into nibbles. So like I can make this as one nibble. Why? Because it has 4 bits, and then I can also make four nibbles, or one another nibble like this. So now I have two separate groups. Out of this whole groupie, now I have one up here which is known as 0101, and then I have one up here which is basically 1100. And now how will I be converting this into hexadecimal? Now to convert this into hexadecimal, now I would be basically converting each of them separately into denary. 1, 2, 4, 8. Let's add them up. This is 4 plus 1, so this is 5. And if I do this basically 8 plus 4 is what? 12. But you know that we have one slot, right? So up 12 ko to hum is tarh nahi kar sakte. But the examiners, or sorry, the computer scientists did come up with the A, B, C, D, E, F logic, right? So we can say that if I have an A that is corresponding to a 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, and F is 15. Now usually people are like, so we can memorize this, but I would recommend कि आप याद कर भी लो, फिर भी in your exam do write it. People mess up this B and C a lot of time. They might be thinking that B is 12, but whereas it's 11. So if I add them up, you're going to see that B 8 plus 4 is basically 12, but I cannot write 12 up here. I'm going to see that, okay, 12 is basically the equivalent of C. So the answer is going to be C up here. And now I'm just going to be combining them together. So हमने glue लगा दिया, and the both are just going to be listed down together again. So this 5C, or this 5 and this C, is basically going to be written as 5C. And this is my answer. So what did I do? I basically divided the binary into group of fours, and then separately dealt with them based on the denary logic which we were studying earlier on. So आपके पास जब भी कोई binary value, again you have to convert it into hexadecimal. So we will be finding what? We will be finding groups of 4, and we'll be then doing it separately. Now this might seem pretty easy. Let's do another example. Let's say I have the value 0101110001. Now I need to make group of 4, right? So we're gonna start from this part, most right hand side. So I have 0 wala ek ye, okay, one group. Then I have a group up here, second group. And now I don't have any group. Why? Because I have like 2 up here, but I need 4. अब मैं क्या करूँगा? So remember, I told you guys yesterday too that whenever we have a scenario like this, what we can do is that we can add useless zeros. Perfect, Moise and Zulkarnain, really good. So because zeros do not change anything and they are to be ignored, so we can just add zeros for now, for the time being. And now we're going to be separately dealing with each of them. So 0001, 0111, and 0001. So अब इसको denary में करना है, we need to convert this into denary, we need to convert this into denary. How will I be doing that? So this is going to be 1, 2, 4, 8. Again, the values of the specific positions. 1, 2, 4, 8. 1, 2, 4, 8. So this is going to be directly 1. So 1 comes up here. This is going to be 4 plus 2 plus 1. 4 plus 2 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So 7. And this is going to be 1 again. So now I won't be adding them. Remember, these values are not going to get added. They're just going to be listed down together. So it's going to give me the answer as what? 171. Now this is not denary. This is really important. Really, really important. This answer currently is not in denary. Even though it may seem like that it is in denary, this is in hexadecimal. So you should not be in tension in your exam where if you get a specific hexadecimal answer in a denary sort of format, say, so there is a possibility the answer which you get is totally numerical. Say, तो इसमें परेशान होने की कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है. It's something which happens, and in your exam sometimes the examiner himself can give you a question which might say that there is this hexadecimal value 171, and you need to convert that into denary. So remember आपने उस 171 को as a denary नहीं treat करना. There is a proper way of converting from hexadecimal to binary, and you have to apply the same for that too. So it's really important that you deal with such questions. Now, if I have to say change the scenario a bit, and I let's say have a one up here too, so then this would have been 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, which is basically 15. So rather than having this 7, it would have been like 1f1. Say so there is a possibility ऐसे answer हो जाता अगर let's say we had a one up here, but we don't, so let's ignore that. So this is basically how you're going to be converting from binary to hexadecimal. Easy steps, just break them into group of fours and then deal with each of them separately. Find the denary for each of the pairs separately, and then at the end, just group them together and you're going to get the right answer. Is this clear, sir? How will we know that there will where will we be putting zeros? Good question, Moise. So basically you're going to be starting from the most right hand side. So when you go from the most right hand side, you're going to see 4 ka ek bana, 4 ka dusra bana, and up here we did not have enough zeros, so it was basically 1 0, but we needed 2 zeros, so हम यहाँ पे 2 zeros डाल देते. But if you start from the left hand side, you might have made a group like this, then you might have made a group up here and then like this, but यहाँ पे फिर आपको zeros डालने पड़ते. But remember, I told you guys yesterday that you cannot add zeros on the right hand side, because is it possible that you have a starting point and then you go even beyond the starting point to run? No. You can add it towards the end, so you can extend the ending side, but the starting wall has been fixed. You cannot change that. So that was the sole reason why I'm again and again encouraging you that whenever you have to write values or whenever you have to do anything, always go from the right hand side. So you start from the R side and you go towards L, and this is basically going to tell you how many zeros you might be required to put up. Samajh gaye? Great. So now we are done with this. Everybody in the chat box, quickly tell me, is the conversion from binary to hexadecimal clear, or do you have any sort of questions? Perfecto, perfecto. Baki, Saifullah, and everybody else. Quickly, quickly, quickly. Rayan, is this clear? Yes or no? Good, good. Ramin, is this clear? Great. Rayan, आप ही बताओ जल्दी. Great, great, great. Now we have studied binary to hexadecimal. Now you might have noticed that when we were doing binary to denary, the denary to binary, when we were doing denary to binary, the binary to denary was the exact opposite of what we were doing earlier on. And the same concept applies up here too. So if I have a binary and I convert it into hexadecimal like this, how would I be now converting a hexadecimal into binary? It's exactly the opposite of whatever we were doing right up here. Kis tarah? So let's do it the other way around. So we have, let's say, hexadecimal to binary, right? So hexadecimal to binary. How would I be doing this? Let's say I have a question which tells me that, bro, you have this value 7a. Now I get to know that 7a is basically hex, right? It's hexadecimal. I need to convert this into binary. Up. The way we originally were dividing the binary value into 4, right now, if you look up here, previously, we joined these two values together, right? So up here, what we are going to be doing is, we will separate these two characters alag alag. So we will have a 7 up here, and then we would have an A up here. And now I need to find the binary of each digit separately. So 1, 2, 4, 8, 1, 2, 4, 8 as the position values. And now 7 is what? 0, 1, 1, 1. 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7, right? So the binary for 7 is 0, 1, 1. And what's the binary for A? What is A? A is basically my 10. So for the binary for A is going to be 8, 0, 1, 0. Why? Because 8 plus 2 is going to get me a 10, which is the value of A. And I'm just going to be joining them together. So 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0. And this is my answer. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Easy peasy. बस आपने ये करना है, you just need to divide them and then deal with them separately. So the common rule for your conversion between hexadecimal to binary or binary to hexadecimal is that group and deal separately. Group and deal separately. Say, so that's the whole rule. When converting from binary to hexadecimal, you need to group them in terms of nibbles. Say, and so when you have to do it from the hexadecimal to binary, you need to basically separate the characters and then do it in a way where you need to convert each of the digit or the specific character into binary. But now let's say we have a question which might have been a bit confusing for a lot of students. What if there is a question and they say, bro, you have this value 576, which is a hexadecimal. So this is a hexadecimal. and I want you to convert this 576 into binary. How would you be doing this? So back when I was preparing for my exams, I made this mistake for one of my quizzes that they gave me a 576, and I was like, bro, 576 is like a denary number. How can I convert? How did the examiner or how did my teacher say that it's an hexadecimal value? Definitely, I have to do it the normal way. So what I was thinking was, मैं क्या करूँगा? I have to do 1 2 4 8 16 32 16. I'm going to take it all the way till 1024, and I would be putting one under all those values, which when I add them, I should be getting the specific denary. So I thought that would be the method used to convert it, but that was wrong. Why? Because this value is not denary. It's hexadecimal. So if I have it as hexadecimal, what I would be doing is 576. I would be catering to each of them separately. So I'm going to take this 5 up here. I'm going to take this 7 up here, and then I'm going to write this 6 up here. See, and now I have to deal with them separately. अब किस तरह again सबकी आप बाइनरी के लिए position लिख लो 1 2 4 8. It won't be going above 1 2 4 8. Why? Because we always group them in nibble. Remember, so nibble is 4 bits. So 4 bits का maximum कितना हो सके 1 2 4 8. So we do not have anything greater than that. Again 1 2 4 8. Again 1 2 4 8. Now I have to just write the binary beneath it. So for 5 it's going to be 0 1 0 1, and for 7 it's going to be 0 1 1 1, and for 6 it's going to be 0 1 1 0, and I'm just going to be writing all of them together. So 0 1 0 1 0 1 1 1 0 1 1 0, and this is basically sort of those difficult questions which if ever comes in exam, you just have to deal with it this way. So this is basically how you convert from a hexadecimal to a binary, and from a binary to a hexadecimal. Now the same thing applies up here, that if I had to reconvert it back into hexadecimal, so I would be just making group of 4 from the right hand side, so 1, then again 1, and then up here, and then I have to deal with them separately. So this is going to become as a 6, this would have been a 7, and this would have been a 5, and so I would have written it as like 576, and that's the whole logic. So this basically marks the end of the concept related to how you can convert a hexadecimal into binary and a binary into hexadecimal. So is this guys clear, or do you have any sort of questions regarding it? If you do, just ask them, because I love answering questions regarding the course content. Perfect, perfect. That's great to know. Everybody else, Ramin and Moises saying that they are good to go. Yes, Zulkarnain, do you have a question? Yes, yes, Zulkarnain. Zara, Rayan, perfect, perfect. Ask a few questions. Denary to hex be kara de. Okay, okay, we would be doing that. Denary to hex. Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. That would be done in tomorrow's class, inshallah, because we only have 8 minutes left, so we do not have a lot of time to cover that part. Inshallah, we're gonna do that tomorrow. Don't worry. So for now, for today, don't worry. We're going to be doing the difficult level question. In these conversion level questions, no. So, अच्छा, कल आपका पेपर है इस चीज का. Can we do one past paper question? Let me see if I can find a past paper question related to hexadecimals. Oh yes, we do have a question up here. क्या कहते हैं Zulkarnain, just message me after class. I can send you a video. सही है, वो देख लेना. It's like from my previous course, so it's going to explain the whole concept, and it's really very easy. Because just to give Zulkarnain a quick idea, if I have to convert from a denary to hexadecimal, what I would advise you is that convert this denary figure into binary, and then convert a binary into hexadecimal. Say that's the most easiest way. So आप denary to binary करो, and then binary to hexadecimal. Still, I would send you the video later on. वो आप देख लेना. For the other people, don't worry, we're going to do this tomorrow, inshallah. तो आपको अच्छे से समझ आ जाएगी. Now look up here. This is one past paper question, and it is basically telling you that we have okay, so we have a hexadecimal number 35, and okay, so what do we call it? Moise, you said that you should divide by 16. That is one other thing kal hi discuss karenge. Do remind me about this 16 thing you say. So again, we won't be following the difficult path. We need to do the easier part, which is something just error making chances are reduced. So if you again go with the conventional method, the chances of error increase. But isko kal discuss karenge, so abhi ke liye chhod do. Let's look at this one question. So it says that we have a hexadecimal number 35 and then 8AD, and they are basically being converted to binary numbers to be stored in the RAM. Okay, so now I need to convert them. How would I be doing it? So 35, so 3 alag, 5 alag. And now 3 की अलग से binary लिखनी है, so 1 2 4 8, 5 की अलग से 1 2 4 8. So what would be the binary? It's going to be 3 ke 0 0 1 1, and for 5 it's going to be 0 1 0 1. So the answer to the first part is going to be 0 0 1 1 0 1 0 1. And just like that, 8ED ka, what I would be doing is I'm going to be separately writing 8 Okay, I would be writing A, and then I would be writing D. And now I would be like, okay, 1, 2, 4, 8, and then 1, 2, 4, 8, and then a 1, 2, 4, 8. At this point, I would be making a small diagram up here. A is going to be 10, B is 11, C is 12, D is 13, E is 14, and F is 15. It's really important, and I would always encourage you that you guys should always make this. Always remember. Say so now for 8, it's going to be 1, 0, 0, 0. A is going to be 10, right? So 10 ke liye 8 plus 0 plus 1, 0. So 10. And then for D is basically 13, which is basically 8 plus 4 plus 1. So 1, 1, 0, 1. And now I'm going to be combining all this 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1. So when writing an exam, do ensure that your answer बिल्कुल उस तरीके से कभी कभार आंसर आपके काफी दफा गलत आने लग जाते हैं सो वी हैव टू गो विद द वे व्हिच डज नॉट cause the answer to get incorrect. Now, the one which I'm going to be teaching you all tomorrow, there is no possibility that gets you a wrong answer through that, unless you all make a mistake in the calculation. And it's the easier one too. So wo kalam dekhenge, inshallah you guys are going to love it. So in exam, remember that when you're writing this is now an exam tip for you all. In this question, always when you're writing this answer, try to add a bit of space, not a lot, but thoda sa ना. अब ऐसा ना करो कि आप एग्जाम में ये करने लग जाओ 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. सही है? So the examiner gave you like a full line, bro. Why are you making a mess? Now, what if the examiner does not get what you're trying to say? And he might be like, okay, -1 kar do. Don't award him the mark. You're going to put yourself at risk even though you knew the concept. So it's important that you add at least this much gap in your answer, the way which I'm writing the answer, so that the examiner clearly knows that, okay, he's going to get the perfect marks. And also your working space, try to clearly do working up here because they do have marks. So like up here, the examiner can clearly see that, okay, this person did the division part and he did it correctly. So good to go. Perfect. So this is also going to about this whole thing. क्या कहते हैं कि how you need to basically deal with hexadecimal to binary thingy. So with that, we are done with the course content for today. Thank you so much, guys. That's really great to know. That's great to know. So now, before ending the class, I just wanted to discuss one common final thingy. How can you excel in our course? So if you're planning on registering for our course, here are some tips which I would want you all to keep in mind, and this will help you guys get that distinction. So how to get a distinction? So the answer to that is we have basically two requests from all the students taking our class. The first request is take classes regularly. Say this is really important. And during those classes, try to participate. Say otherwise, watch recordings before the next class. Watch recording before the next class. Before the next class. So like during the last batch, there were some occasions where maybe a student might have joined the next day, but they missed the last class. And so I would recommend that you guys should not be doing in that way. Simple answer, study, right? But I'm not saying I'm not that sort of a teacher who will be like telling you, bro, har waqt kitab ke saath." No, 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 no. You guys should go play football. You guys should go play Fortnite. You guys should go chill with your friends. And then at the same time, you guys should also study. Just have a proper balance. Yeah? And if you are someone who is literally grinding whole day and night on the books and is just thinking that iske khilaf baghair A star nahi aane, to you're just messing your life. So yeah, I used to play Fortnite back then a lot during my IGCSEs era, but then I left it. So yeah, so try to chill. सही है आराम से chill करना कोई आप लोग को जल्दी नहीं है. You guys can easily cover up the whole course, and we inshallah once you guys join my course, we're going to take everything in a very slow paced manner and would ensure that before your exam you all are fully ready to ace with them. So yeah, inshallah if I get a chance to come to Peshawar someday or maybe Islamabad, we can hang out. Or if you guys ever come to Lahore, so definitely maza aa jayega. But apart from that, first request, try to take classes regularly. Just at least try to come for this 1 hour. It's going to help you a lot. And secondly, the most important point, ask questions. If you are someone who is not asking questions, your chances of going good are basically going to reduce. If you have a question in your mind, you should ask it exactly at that point. Sir, I do not get this. You should not be stating or thinking that, bro, yeah, I can later on revise it from the book or can also do it in school. To ho jayega. Nahi, ho nahi jayega. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here to ensure that you guys get the whole thingy. So if there is something which you all are not understanding, you have to quickly just send a message in the chat box. Sir, samajh nahi aayi. And so this is something which is not only necessary for computer science, whatever course content you're studying or whatever subject you're studying, wherever you're studying it from, if you don't get anything, just stop the teacher. Teacher would never mind it. So yeah, they appreciate questions. And then I've like said this like a million time till now, that no question is the wrong question. So the more questions you ask, the better your concept is going to be, and the more it's going to help the whole class, because everyone is going to get the answer to it. So इस वजह से जितने ज्यादा questions पूछोगे इतना ही आप लोग को फायदा होता जाएगा. So with that, it's 10 p.m. and if you guys have any questions, you can ask them in the chat box. Otherwise, we are done for today. And also, the registration form would be open till Sunday. So all those who have filled it, I hope you guys are added into the group chat. If not, you guys can reach out to me later on, or otherwise you will be added within one day of filling out the form. If you haven't, fill out kar lo, and inshallah you will be soon added. Inshallah Zulkarnain kal class फिर होगी. Don't worry, don't worry. All right, everybody, take care. Allah Hafiz. Remember in duas. See you guys tomorrow.